Good day everyone and welcome to another vlog. In this vlog I have a few things to share, not as much as I would have liked to, but it was still a good week. As you can see, I'm missing a pillar over here, but I'll fix that later. This is a bit of a veranda slash temple type thing. I'm not exactly sure what they were used for. I found references that say that it's possibly a temple that also had walls on the inside. I didn't see any walls in the references, except for that the ceiling was closed, but whatever. This kind of structure would definitely make for a very nice seating area. And because it's walled in, usually on the side of the Nile, it would definitely make for a safe place to sit. We won't get flooded. Anyway, so what this looks like in the render is this. So I'm just going to zoom in on it. There you go. Now obviously there's a few in here. I don't think that there were that many standing around. But yeah, it definitely needs to be fixed. And in addition to what you're seeing right now, you can also see that the white buildings have been added. So one distinction between the Israelites and the Egyptians is building size and the fact that the buildings were whitewashed. So I literally replaced some of the buildings around the palace with these white ones and also increased the number. What I also want to do is add some leveling, like this over here. You could call it concrete, but don't know if it was concrete or blocks or whatever back in those days. But definitely want to add something here to just make it a little bit more structural, for lack of a better term, which I think will look better as well. Another thing for this week was also fixing the reflections because they were far too sharp. And I also increased the number of palm trees. Now I didn't increase it on this frame just yet, but you can look at that building intersecting with a palm tree. But I did increase it with this one. I also flattened out the pyramids a little bit and increased the sky down because when you look to the left, there are mountains there that sort of like vanished because they were outside of the sky dome. So when I increased the size of the sky dome, the reflections disappeared. Had to be fixed. So now there's more palm trees. The pyramids are a little bit better. I think I need to get rid of this mountain thing over here because from the references, the pyramids are in an area that is slightly elevated, and you don't see any mountains around them. Not in a case where it's in the front and in the back. So definitely need to adjust that as well. And we also have one of our first Egyptian citizens. Now, a few vlogs ago, you guys remember I gave you guys like a list of characters that still need to be made, as well as animals and plants and all that kind of stuff. Now this week, praise God, I actually got to start on the Egyptians. And in this case, I focused on starting with one of the older male citizens. So I did a little turntable riff video for this guy. And there he is. I had to go looking for reference for these sandals because I couldn't find anything that showed me where the fold over in front of the toes actually connected. The only reference I got, the detail was far too low. So I had to go digging a little further. So this is very cool. One thing I haven't showed you guys yet is how to make these kinds of outfits. with Make Human, you often have issues with weight painting and that sort of thing when you model something and just attach it to your model. Not always, but sometimes there are some issues, which is why I use the method I'm going to be showing you right now. Okay, so here we have the advisor I used. Let me just turn on screen gas keys. So let's say we wanted to, I don't know, give him shorts. So let's just get rid of the other stuff and make it visible. There we go. So let's say we wanted to give him some shorts. That means we have to copy the midsection. So let's copy it from, let's copy it from about there. Now you have to be careful about the loop cuts because the loop cuts don't always correspond. That's exactly what I mean. They don't always correspond the way you want them to. So let's say the shorts go down to there. Okay, so let's get the rest. No. Okay, that's good. Duplicate that. Separate it out by selection. There we go. Let's change the material. Let's go for, let's keep it in neutral white. Make it toon shaded. 1.28. 2, 3, 4. And that should be good. Just need to give it some specular. I'm not going to give it specular value because it's not like spandex. Okay, so now let's just make sure that it has some distance from the body. So go for solidify. Doesn't have to be far, just needs to have some distance. There we go. Sometimes the original setting works, sometimes you have to switch it to a different offset. Just play with that. Okay, so let's say we're happy with that distance. Then you can move it up and apply. Oh, we just need to remove the shape keys. We copied the body, so we have to remove the shape keys. And apply. Okay, that is cool. So now you tab out and you select the edges where it's actually joined. And the same on the pants legs over here. Oh, in South Africa we call trousers pants as well interchangeably, so it's not necessarily underwear. Just a heads up. Okay, now we can select everything and Shift L on the outside so that we can delete everything on the inside, because at the moment we actually have two sets of pants right here. Okay, so just delete the inside. Now we just need to flatten this out. So what you can do is you can just go into sculpt mode and use smooth and just take this and add volume on the inside. Just gonna and polish it. Just want to see if it's flat enough. Not quite yet. Let's add a little bit more in there and polish it out. Smooth it out a little bit more. Add a little bit more brush and polish it. Just want to add there a little bit as well. Okay. Now this obviously takes a little bit of adjustment. Usually what I would do for pants is actually add some of the assets that are already in make human. Just want to smooth this out as well, so that it's less intense. Let's try smoothing it out. Okay, adding a little bit more substance. And polish. Okay, that's just a silly example. And then you have some shorts. Now you can make these bigger at the pant legs, which is something I actually do recommend you do. Just be careful when you use proportional editing that you don't over adjust and adjust other things in addition. Okay, let's make it have a bit of a, for lack of a better term, collar. I don't know what you call this little piece at the bottom. And of course you can add this at the top as well. And of course it needs to be closed in. That's just a silly example. Now he has some shorts. And of course the same applies if you want to do like a shirt. So if you want to do a shirt, just duplicate it, solidify. Get rid of the shape keys. Offset to 1, because now we know that it wants to offset to 1. Let's say the shirt's going to go over there. Apply the solidify. Tab out, press A, Shift L the outside, delete the inside. For lack of a better term, we have to remove the head. And of course we have to remove the most of the arm. Hold on. There we go. Again, most of the arm. Just want to make sure I get this right. And of course, the stuff below the midsection also has to go. So we can just L that and remove it. Let's give it the same color as the shorts. And again, sculpting tool. Just to polish that little belly button out right there. And just add a little bit of a fill. Again, just polish it a little bit. Just so that it's less obvious that we use the body structure to create this. So let's add a little bit of a fill in there, in there. Yeah, something like that. Let's go into edit mode and increase the sleeves edges. Let's add proportional editing. Okay, same on the other side. Not too harsh, something like that. And there he has shorts and a t-shirt. And now what happens if you move the hand, for example? See, perfectly weighted to the character. Same with the pants. Perfectly weighted to the character. So that's just in short how you can make clothes for your Make Human characters. Have at it. I mean, seriously. It's a very, very quick way. It's an easy way to make things like gloves, hats, hair, all that kind of stuff. For example, you can even get rid of the ears without much difficulty. I mean, look at this. So I'm just going to sculpt on the head itself. So let me just go into sculpt mode. If you use smooth, look at this. There it goes. That does not mean the geometry disappears and that you get flat squares and all that kind of stuff. That does not happen. So let me show you what happens if you go into edit mode. See, you have a bunch of geometry over here. So what you can do is you can take out most of this and just use a grid fill to compensate for the amount of geometry that's essentially wasted. So you can remove the faces, select that area, spacebar, grid fill, can give it a nice amount of detail, spin it around, and there you go. I see we missed some geometry over here, which is easy to fix. Again, just go into edit mode as we are, select those little islands, and you can delete them. And of course, just to polish it out, you can use the sculpting tool again. Look at that. See, this is how easy it is in Blender to modify objects and expand your characters. It does still take time. So depending on what you need, you know, just modify your characters and have fun with it. Seriously, just have fun with it. Okay, now that one was also fixed. So that is it for this vlog, nice and short. Hope to get more done this week. Have a great one and God bless you.